Well, every once in a while, someone very special comes along whose energy, spirit, kindness, and compassion affect millions of people in a very profound way. Zach Sobiech was one of those people. Zach lost his 4-year-long battle with a rare bone cancer this week. It was just 17 days after his 18th birthday. But in his own words, he went down fighting just like he wanted to. Zach was buried in Stillwater, Minnesota on Thursday. He was told by doctors last year that he had just months to live. Zach wrote a song, this song, to say goodbye, a farewell to everyone he loved. The video for his song is called Clouds, and it has gone viral. More than 7 million people have watched this. And on Wednesday, it hit #1 on the iTunes singles chart.
Because the view's a little nicer up here, my dear, don't belong now.
In response to Zach's song, a slew of celebrities, including Rainn Wilson, Ashley Tisdale, Anna Faris, Jason Mraz, and others, made their own version, lip-syncing to Zach's voice. Zach's reaction to first seeing that video, well, here it is. It was captured in the documentary My Last Days. It is part of a series. It's directed by Justin Baldoni. And we're lucky enough to have Justin join us now to talk about Zach's life, to talk about this film. It's an honor to meet you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for putting his story out there. And thank you for being with us.
It's an honor to be here. I got to be honest. I haven't heard all of that in a while, so I'm going to try to keep it together on camera here for you.
Right. I'm right there with you. You know, it's interesting. In the documentary, you talk about Zach, and you say you went there to meet a great kid, but instead you met someone who changed your life. Tell us about Zach. Tell us about the time you spent with him.
Zach is one of the oldest souls I have ever met. He's 17 years old, but when you meet him and you look into his eyes, you feel like he's lived for thousands of years. His kindness, his generosity, his compassion for people, and his aura was just unlike anyone that I've ever met. And you know, we went there for a week and we left feeling like we had just read every inspirational book on life that you could ever pick up at a bookstore. Feeling like we just wanted to be better human beings and better people, and I've never had an experience like that in my life.
I believe it. I want to play for our viewers Zach's opening line in your documentary. Listen.
I'm 17 years old and I have osteosarcoma. I've been told I have a few months to live, but I still have a lot of work to do. I want everyone to know you don't have to find out you're dying to start living.
How struck were you by that, seeing Zach live out some of the last days of his life?
Zach knew he didn't have much time left when we went to him, but yet he gave us a week of his life to do this documentary, and his family gave us a week of his life. And what we got to see was a 17-year-old care more about everyone else in his entire life than himself. He cared about making us and our crew happy. He cared about if our needs were being met. He wanted us to have a good time. Everybody was vying for attention from him because they knew he didn't have a ton of time left. And his ability to think about other people when he's in physical pain, when he knows he's not going to get to do things that all of his friends are going to do, like graduate high school or get married to his girlfriend, it was one of the most heartbreaking but inspiring things I've ever experienced, like I said earlier.
You bring up his girlfriend. He had this wonderful to me watching it, girlfriend who knew he was sick and was there with him by his side through all of it, planned this special surprise picnic for him in Mall of America Stadium where the Vikings play, because he's a Vikings fan, you know, standing by him like his sister. I know he was so close to Grace, and he wrote this song for her, his mother, his father. This family is amazing. I can't describe it. People have to see it. But, you know, our Ed Lavandera, one of my fellow reporters, interviewed Zach last year, and I want to play for our viewers what he told him about dying and about leaving loved ones behind.
In all honesty, I'm sorry for them, because I get to leave, and I don't have to deal with any of this, but they have to keep on living, and they have to deal with it.
What's your reaction to that?
Besides the fact that you're trying to make me cry right now.
Not trying to. I'm not. Take your time.
Zach, he meant it when he said that.
Yeah.
He had this peace about him with dying. When he would talk about his friends, when he would talk about his mom, when he would talk about his girlfriend, he always said that he was going to be fine, but he was worried about them. And one of the things that was also so special about Zach is, aside from being worried about his friends and his family, he took on the role of wanting to cure cancer. He took on the role of knowing that these other kids that have his rare type of cancer called osteosarcoma, he didn't want them to have to suffer like he did. And he wanted his death to be something that inspired people to live better lives, but also he wanted it to change the lives of the people suffering with his disease. So before he died, he set up the Zach Sobiech Osteosarcoma Fund.
Yeah.
Because he would bunk with kids that were his age and that were younger, that had missing limbs, that were dying at 7 years old and 11 years old, and he would get really close to them.
And that's
And
what Go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. He just didn't want kids to have to suffer the way that he did. And he told me one day, in private, he said, man, I would love to see this fund hit $1 million, because I think it could really change the lives of kids with my illness.
Well, you know,
And
I was just going to say to that, you know, his mom described her son as someone that was incredibly compassionate, empathetic, always looking for the good in people, and you portray that so well in this film. Thank you so much for coming on to talk to us about Zach. I was just taking a look at the computer to make sure we can get up here for people exactly where they can donate money to help. So let's do that.
It's Children's Cancer. Yeah, go ahead.
childrenscancer.org/Zach, right? That's where people can go to help.
And all of the proceeds as well from all of his from Clouds, which is #1 on iTunes right now. Go Zach. That also goes to his fund. So with your help, I think that we can really do what he wanted, which was change the lives of people with osteosarcoma.